All right, guys, Kane from Garage 11. Welcome back to the Friday wrap-up. And this week, we're going to have a look at everything that's been going on in the workshop, as we do every Friday. This week has been pretty cool, pretty interesting. We've had a lot going on, which is always a lot of fun. We've actually been working quite heavily on this beast, as a lot of you may have seen. Through our social media, we've had a fair bit of content going up on the 94 stuff that's going out at the minute. So we've been working on this one a while, just waiting on the airbox to come back. And yeah, just getting a few bits and pieces sorted and spending some time on it. But this bike's been pretty cool. Just fix the seat up there. Let's do a better job at that. Yeah, this thing's been pretty cool. It was imported by another company here in Victoria who promised one thing and delivered another, which seems to be fairly common. And then we wound up in it because the customer for this one was actually, some of you may have seen our 94 CR125 build that we did probably 2 years ago now. It's the same customer, so he wanted to get the 125, 250 and the 500. So we found this one, got it in. It was a complete basket case, like a lot of the imports are. Rails were completely stuffed. Engine had no compression whatsoever. It barely started, it barely ran. Yeah, so we ended up getting it. Obviously, customer paid a lot for it, which is a shame because it wasn't worth that. And most of these 500s are not worth a lot of, like the big dollars, especially unrestored ones. Like, we've got to start getting real with the pricing on some of these things, but you know, maybe I could be wrong, I'm not sure. But yeah, so this one here, we got it in, and it was pretty tired, so we had to get it off to the frame guy to get him to repair the rails on it, which is always a big job. So that takes a while. So once we got all that back, we were able to sort of really get into it. Managed to find a really clean exhaust for it, a really nice expansion chamber for it. We actually got it all for pretty good money. So if you're paying a fortune for expansion chambers, don't, because they're out there. They're not worth the thousands of dollars that people think they're worth. That's just my opinion. Everyone might tell me I'm wrong, but I've managed to find them with not too much stress. I mean, they're not easy to find, but they're definitely not, you know, they're not impossible to find. And this one was in pretty good shape, as you can see. Looks pretty good. So we were pretty lucky with that one. We just got to go through and finish up. We've got a problem with one of the radiators, so we're just getting that repaired at the moment. I just got to bolt the seat down properly and fit off the muffler and whatnot, and get we're getting a little bit more zinc plating done. So we've just got a couple of dummy bolts holding the rear end together at the minute. New old stock brake lever. Covers, we had them all coated or repainted. They come up looking really good. New old stock Kickstarter. So yeah, like it's starting to look pretty cool. These things are always impressive. My favorite bike of all time is the mid-90s CR500. As some of you may know, I ride mine most weekends. But this is, yeah, these are cool. These are a super pretty bike, in my opinion. And it's been, you know, it's been great being able to work on it. You would have seen the behind the build of the 250 that we just finished, which is the same customer. So yeah, that's been pretty cool. We have been working away at the WR500 that some of you may have seen. So this is starting to sort of take some form of shape. This is the engines cases. We've just finished hydroblasting them and the shock and everything. The exhaust is back from being repaired as much as it can be. Being a dual skin exhaust, it's sort of harder to get some of the dents out, but Paul at Prime Pipe Works definitely did a really, really good job with that. A few grubby fingerprints on the swing arm. But yeah, this thing's gonna start to take shape. Pretty cool bike. These were, like I said, like a lot of the 500 two-strokes from back in the day, they were sort of not loved then, but cherished now, which is fine by me because I think they're all cool. Haven't really done much on the Boydie bike recently. We are in the process of doing some stuff. We've got the engine apart on it now. So that's going to be pretty cool. Got to strip all that back down and whatever else, and get all the cases cleaned up now, get the crank rebuilt. So this thing should probably have an engine in it pretty soon. Looking forward to that actually, it's going to be good. Sort of gets a nice sort of keynote into the build. Once you get the engine in and everything, it really starts to, your bulkier work's out of the way, so you can start focusing on the smaller, finer points and finishing offs and all that sort of stuff, which is going to be cool. So it really gets us into that, I'd say that halfway mark. Yeah, so we've got the 93 CR500 that we're working on at the minute. Just got the cases back from being repaired on this one. It's been quite a while. This bike's changed hands a couple of times since we've had it. But the guy's got it now, super passionate about it, which is cool. So yeah, we actually had to look at the cases. We're looking at the cases and we sort of, every time we see like the, I don't know, what do you call it? The liquid metal bonding stuff, the repair stuff, JB Weld, I think. Whenever we see that, we just hit it, start chipping at it with a hammer because it's not meant to be there. So whatever is there, you just have to deal with that. So you have to get rid of all the JB Weld, do it properly. So we ended up doing that with this one, and it actually, a side of the case fell out and it actually had cracked or had been damaged and pulled part of the inner bearing out for the gearbox, the pocket where it lives. So you could see straight through from the inside to the outside of the case, but we're lucky enough we managed to get that repaired and have the gearbox remachined, the bearing area remachined. So that's all good to go. So we've got to work on that, get the cases cleaned up, and then start building that engine and getting that in there, getting the front end back into it, and then getting wheels into it. And then I think the customer's going to do the rest himself because he wants to get into it, which is really cool. I love that sort of stuff. We do a lot of that where if people want bits and pieces done, we're more than happy to do that sort of stuff and hand it off, because it's not always easy. And a lot of people, with dirt bikes traditionally, a lot of people like to do the stuff themselves, servicing, repairs, maintenance, all that stuff. So we can definitely help out with some of the stuff that isn't as easy to do at home or needs more specialized equipment. As you can see, the CR500 has a blue arse on it, finally, wheels and everything else, which is cool. So this is going to be for the Moto Group giveaway bike, this thing's going to be sick. It's going to be a split fire looking CR500. So we've got the white tank for it. We've got the Spitfire seat cover coming for it. Just waiting on the engine to be all crank rebuilt and whatever else, and we should be good to go. So this one's, yeah, this is super cool. I think these are a very cool bike. They're a bit of a hot mess, and I like that about them. What else have we got? A couple of BRC 500s on the go. Got one there. Doing these, like I said, I've sing the praises of BRC from the hills, because these things are absolutely amazing. So they're just so easy to convert. We absolutely love them. And then we've got this bucket of joy arrived today from the one and only Mr. Jed Beaton. We're gonna restore this with him, for him, and he's gonna ride it. It's gonna look like Reedy's 04 bike. So we're gonna do some pretty tricky stuff with this. For all of our members, our subscribers, we're going to be documenting this build. So if you want to see what we do with this, don't forget, you jump on to our YouTube members page and sign up. Heaps of benefits and perks on that one. So we like to, give back to the community and starting to build a bit more of a membership basis. And I think this thing's going to be cool. And like, these were a cool bike. Like, these were such a good thing. It was really cool having Jed in today and talking to him about, not about new motocross, that's easy, but talking to him about the cool stuff, like the older bikes, and he was having a look at the BRC 500s. And yeah, this is going to be a super fun build. So hopefully we can get some tricky parts for that for him. Yeah, then we've got YZ125. It's got the swing arm cleaned up, triple clamps cleaned up for it. So we're sort of just waiting on me, because this is mine, waiting on me to sort of put some time into it. So the engine's going to be going back together on that one pretty soon. We have had A few little modifications done to it, which is cool. It never, you know, it's always experimenting. I'm no race engine builder. Like, I don't need to worry about that title, thank goodness. But I like to experiment with doing bits and pieces, and especially when it's your own stuff, it's a lot more fun and exciting, and you don't have that nervousness of if it's a customer bike and something happens, then it sort of gets a little bit messy. But yeah, we sort of experiment with our own stuff, which is cool. So we've done a fair bit of cylinder work on that one. We've 3D scanned the head. So we're going to do a bit of a different, up the compression on it and the squish band, and adjust all that, weld all that up and machine it. So that's going to be cool, but I think that one's going to go up for sale once it's finished. It's not really, they're not really my passion project bike, so I'm more of a Honda guy, Cowie guy, so I think that's going to go up for sale, which is going to be cool. We're just going to restore it like we would any of these other ones. So that'll be a nice bike when it's done. It could be a Chesterfield livery or OEM, I'm not sure yet. That's always a hard one. But yeah, like it's been a pretty cool week actually. Like I said, busy. We're working really hard on more content. You guys are loving it, which is super cool. Like I said, there's builds going on. Got some more BRC stuff in the works, which is always going to be fun. We love that sort of stuff. Like I said, a lot of our bike builds now, head over to our members page in YouTube and check that out, because we're going to be doing a lot of our bike builds in there, like some really detailed stuff and a little bit more educational stuff for how we do things, which is going to be good. So yeah, like it's been a good week. It's been a really good week. Busy. Like I said, it's nice to start seeing this thing come together. I know I always say that, but yeah, like it's super cool when you see them in this shape. Pipes going on, graphics, 1 and a bit wheels. Like it's super cool. CR500 Vision Concepts bike on charge because it hasn't been ridden in ages, but that's okay. I think we're going to ride it tomorrow out at Cruisix. If you're coming out, anyone, come and say hi. How's that graphics kit though? That thing looks sick. They do a really good job, the boys there. Marshall at Vision Concepts really nail it. We did a lot of work on this bike, Cerakoting bits and pieces and fork coatings, and Cruise Tune did the forks set up on it. They always do a really good job. So yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, no, it's been interesting. Like we've got another RM500, the 85 model that you guys would have seen. So we're waiting on that to come back from Steve, because getting all the frame checked out and straightened and whatever else. We're going to jump back into, we've just finished restoring the swing arm on the 83 KX125. So that's getting coated at the moment, which is a bit of a, I don't know if we're going to be able to anodize it because we had to do quite a bit of welding on it. And I know with aluminium, even if you do match up the same material from the welding filler rod as what the actual product's made of, it doesn't necessarily anodize really well. And the reason for that, from what I understand in my very, very, very crude understanding of the chemical reaction and anodizing, is that when you weld it, it's essentially superheat treating that area, and you're adding different material in from the rest of it. And because the anodizing works, I don't know, it's something to do with the chemical reaction or whatever it is, it actually makes it stand out like dog's balls. You can see it just ridiculously. So we had to do a fair bit of welding on that. We're weighing up our options. We're definitely not going to anodize it because it'll look terrible. So we're going to weigh up our options, trying to get that gold color back into it. But I think we'll be able to fix something up, sort something out as we always do. It'll definitely be the best job we can provide. So, but yeah, that's sort of been it for this week, guys. It's been a lot of fun. Like I said, we've got pretty close to getting that done. We'll start on Jed's bike soon as well. Obviously the BRC, we've got 2 BRC conversions happening, which is going to be super cool. One of them's another giveaway bike, which you would have seen. Moto's giving our one away at the moment, so jump on that. You have to get in that if you're in Australia. Super cool bike. Like for $100, yeah, it seems a little steep, but when you think about what you could win, I can give you some quotes if you really want to do the numbers. $100 isn't much compared to what it costs to actually build one of those things. So yeah, so it should be pretty good. But thanks again for watching, guys. Like I said, we're bringing you more content all the time. It's been super cool, but thanks for hanging around. Thanks for watching the Friday wrap up, and we'll see you again next week. See you guys.